What's going on, guys? Peng, Rayhan, Jameson, William, Cody, Barack. What's going on, guys? There is sound. I just wasn't talking. As long as you can hear me now. We want background music. How's the, I think there should be sound now. What's up, Demo Cryptus? Are we about to dump? We might. What's going on? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, perfect. You can hear me now. Is the music fine? Should it be a little quieter? We have a lot to talk about today. Yeah, Bitcoin kind of is ruining the party, huh? We'll give people a couple minutes to get in here and then we will get started. Things are good, man. Had a nice couple days away from home. Was trading from the laptop for a bit. Looking at some JPEGs to buy. Trading some Avax coins. Things have been good. Haven't been trading as much Bitcoin and Ethereum, but you know, now we're back. Okay, we gave people a few minutes to get in here. Sound quality seems good, music good. So we'll get things started. As always, these streams are brought to you by Zort and Binance. Zort is an AI-based trading algorithm that basically trades on your behalf. And my Zort account is up about 11, probably, I think it's actually 9% right now. So that's been doing well. We can talk about that more later. And then Bybit, my preferred derivatives trading platform. FTX is kind of screwing people with some KYC stuff. So if you are within that group, you can think about making the switch over to Bybit. And the maximum daily withdrawal limit there is 2 BTC a day. So that's a lot better than $2,000. What's up, Mark? So let's jump into some of the analysis. We'll talk about Bitcoin first, then Ethereum. We'll look at a few alts, and then we'll kind of see where things take us. Give me just a second. Okay. So with Bitcoin, last time we talked, I was in a short from this region right here, and we were chopping here when I recorded the last video, and then as soon as we got this 4-hour close back above it, I think it was right here, one of those, and then retested it as support, and it held right there. We closed the short and haven't touched Bitcoin since. So I think Bitcoin's been chopping a lot of people up with this kind of like spikes up, slow grind down price action. So glad that we haven't taken part in that too much. And I don't really see any setups right now on Bitcoin. Like if you shorted this, that was probably the cleanest setup. It was a nice sweep into the weekly open and this 4-hour supply right there. So that was a nice setup on Bitcoin, but If you missed that, you've probably just been chilling for this whole part because it hasn't really given much. At least it hasn't given me much for the setups that I trade. Let's see if Monday's range gives us anything. Not really. I mean, we're kind of on Monday's low right now. What day is it today? Oh, it's Tuesday only. Okay. I would be really interested in longing Bitcoin if it gets to this region. Otherwise, I kind of think it's just going to keep chopping around in here. It could happen soon, like this week. It could just dump down big. And if it does, I will look to position long around 42K. That's kind of been what I've thought we were going to get for the past week, but instead we just consolidated. But if we zoom out and look at the higher time frame picture again, we are at the most obvious resistance on the chart. We had this candle right here sweep into that level, and then the next, I don't know, 3, 6, 8 candles now, we've just been ping-ponging between 47K and 49K. So there hasn't been a ton to do with Bitcoin, like I said, but the high time frame bias still points towards, well, the high time frame bias a week ago pointed towards either a pullback or consolidation. Now we've just been consolidating for a while. I think we get to full bull mode if we flip this resistance, and we look for longs if it comes back to this 42K level. I don't really want to short right now because I feel like the idea to short was around this weekly open, right, around 49K, and now Bitcoin is like halfway to the target, being at 47K. So I don't think there's a reason to short it here because A, we've just been dumping, and B, the risk to reward would kind of suck, right? That's just not a trade I'm interested in taking. So I'm focused on trading other things right now, and as long as Bitcoin doesn't just omega nuke, I think there will be opportunities elsewhere. And if it does, then we'll figure it out. You know, we can look to get back in later. So Ethereum is kind of the main one out of all of them. Ethereum looks pretty good to me, right? So we have these two different range high levels that we've clearly flipped, right? The daily closed through it, retested it, held, and it's just been consolidating in this region now. And it finally kind of looks like we're breaking out, and if this is a true breakout, I think we make a push to $4,000. I was mentioning on Twitter that recency is important to me, and I don't want to just say like, oh, this entire level is resistance, which like it very well could be, but then by the time it pushes up and flips that level, it's like, okay, you just missed out on a almost 20% move. So I'm trying to use the more recent price action to get an idea of where the SR is around this area. And I think it's pretty clear when we zoom in that it is this like 33.45-ish region. This whole kind of level. Okay? And as long as Ethereum holds that, I think we continue to push up. So that's kind of the plan right now, more or less, for Ethereum. I am bullish on Ethereum. I am long with a stop at around 3,300. And yeah, I mean, I think as long as this level holds, this should be good to push up. Ethereum definitely looks a bit better than Bitcoin right now because it is trading above this SR level. Like, come on, guys. This looks so obvious in hindsight if this is a real breakout, right? We've literally been ranging for a little over 3 weeks, and now we've broken through the top. Like, I would regret not at least taking a shot here at being long. So Ethereum is kind of my preferred play right now. However, if we break back below here, I think there's no more reason to be long anymore. If it breaks that, we'd probably revisit like $3,000. And yeah. So pretty clear invalidation, because if it breaks below that, I definitely think there's going to be more downside. However, if we hold it, this looks good for expansion, and it's kind of, there's some thin air here, right? Like, this whole move was quick. We just nuked straight down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a nice explosive move off this level if this is a true breakout. But that's the question. Like, is this legit? I don't know, but I know I would regret not at least taking a shot at it here. So I am long Bitcoin. Sorry, I am long Ethereum, and hopefully Bitcoin doesn't just nuke and ruin everything. Ideal entry on ETH, I mean, I think around here is fine. Clear invalidation below 33.45. Manage your risk. I'm long from pretty close to around here, a little lower, but yeah, you guys do whatever you feel on these streams. I tell you what I'm doing with my money. What you do with yours is up to you. This is educational in nature. I think Avax, I'm very bullish on the Avax ecosystem in general. And this, it looks okay. I think the higher time frame looks fine. This weekly SR is a very important level. I'm going to take the massive out of there because it just looks crowded. I think this is a very important level. I think if it holds here, we're going to make a push to all-time highs. It might do something like this where it spikes a little lower and then reclaims it. I don't know exactly, but Avax absolutely has piqued my interest in this area, and also from a fundamental perspective. I think Avax is very bullish, and I'm bullish on their entire ecosystem. So what we're kind of looking for, I remember back here I was looking for us to tag the weekly SR and then get back above, and it kind of front ran the weekly SR. Now 5 days later, it's come around, tested it, and we want to see it get back above. If this pushes up and flips like 40.5, this will be a very high conviction long for me. I'll feel really good about this. There's a lot of confluence with this, like this range as well as this weekly SR, which is like the most important SR on the entire chart, as I was saying earlier. So this looks potentially very promising. So we want to see this flip around 40.5, and I will be longing Avax, targeting, that's a little too zoomed out, targeting 47 and 54. So it'll look something like this. However, we want to be patient until that does get reclaimed. Like, sure, you could get higher risk to reward if you enter here, but it just worries me a little bit because we're below the level that we want to see us get above. So there's no reason entering right here because it could just get rejected again. So be patient. If it does something like this, then we are very interested. If you can't hold off of the FOMO, then just enter like a quarter of your normal risk right here and then add the rest on when it does something like that, okay? So that's kind of how I'm looking to play it, but very bullish on Avax as a whole, and this is kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah, exactly what Cody said. We took out these lows and this one because we did have a little bounce there first. So everyone who was getting long during this range could be stopped out already. Maybe this needs one more leg to like really do everyone in. But yeah, it's definitely taken out a lot of the liquidity, and now we just want to see where it pushes from here. What's up, Sun Juice? Good to see you, man. So Avax is definitely high up there on my list of things that I'm paying attention to right now. I think the upside is enormous, and yeah, bullish from a fundamental and technical standpoint. So those are usually the highest conviction plays. And then if it breaks 60, if this breaks all-time high, it's just going to start flying. So I think it looks good. And for a little more confluence, let's throw Monday's range on there. But it doesn't tell us anything we don't already know. Monday's range lines up nicely with our levels we already have. So me looking for us to flip this range low is basically right next to Monday's low, and then that's just a setup we take all the time. Monday's high is right above the mid-range, so that is another reason why this general area is where we will be looking to at least, that's our first take profit area. So really like the look of this, and we will see where it goes from here. FTM, a lot of hype about FTM the last few days, and now it's just been nuking a bit. It could bounce from this consolidation cluster, whatever you want to call it, but I'm not super interested in this one right now. Just have it on the watch list. I know it took a lot of hype away from Avax during this entire run, and that's why I think Avax did this. But from a fundamental perspective, FTM is pretty brutal to use, and Avax is very simple, very easy. Great user interface and all that, whatever you want to call it. It's just a lot simpler to transact on it. So definitely more bullish on Avax than FTM, but I've been watching it because, they do similar things. Can I talk about Sol? I feel like Sol is one of the main things I've been talking about for a long time. I don't know what you want to know specifically. Today, it looked like it might get a nice bounce from here. I said if it breaks back below Monday's high, I don't want to be involved anymore, and I think it'll cool off or dump for the time being. Really nice breakdown, close below, retest, rejection, rounded retest, rejection. So the only two scenarios in which I'm interested in getting back in Sol for the time being are if we break out back above Monday's high, then I think it'd be nice for a little long opportunity, or I like this mid-90 region. We got Monday's low there, and then that's the last bit of consolidation on the 4-hour time frame. So I think that would be a logical place to look for some longs, and I wouldn't be surprised if with this price leg right here, some fibs kind of line up a little bit. All right, so right between the 0.5, literally to the T, and the 0.62. So some nice confluence. Monday's low, 4-hour demand, and then some fibs there. I mean, if this is really bullish, I wouldn't be surprised if it bounces from that general region. So that's kind of my view on Sol. Definitely took some chips off the table when I saw this break below Monday's low, and now we're kind of just chilling. Also, Avax looking pretty good here. If this gets above 40.6 or 7 while we're on stream, then I think I might enter while we are here talking about things. So we'll see what happens there. Let me check the chat really quick. Thanks, Carpe Diem. Yeah, I could kind of see that, Mark. I mean, I am a little sketched out with BTC. I mean, you guys know I've been looking for a pullback ever since it hit this weekly SR level, and it's kind of just been chopping. So, like, Bitcoin pulling back wouldn't really surprise me at all. It would just kind of ruin some of the fun because a lot of altcoins look good. FTT is an interesting one. So we know that there's some like Binance seller or something like that who basically sells FTT every time it gets to like 52, 53, and it lines up with this daily supply. You could, but when that level gets flipped, I don't know when it's going to be. The dude will probably run out of money eventually because Sam will just keep wanting to push this up, and FTX is doing a lot of really bullish stuff. So I am bullish on FTT. I have been for a long time, and it's one of the coins. FTT and Sol are two of the coins that I'm more vocally very bullish on, like on Twitter and stuff. And I mean, once it breaks out of this, I don't even need to draw it like this. It's basically just this like small region right here of resistance that has just been capping price for so long. And as soon as we break above that 53, 54, I think FTT is going to really rip a bit more. Different breed Binance seller. Isn't that what we're calling him? Maybe CZ? Who knows? I talk about the importance of Monday's range in just about every single stream, but the quick version is it just kind of sets the tone for the week, and people who take trades early in the week will likely have their stop loss at either Monday's high or Monday's low. So has to do with some liquidity stuff too. But yeah, if FTT can break above this, it's going to be really bullish. I don't know if it's gonna. Maybe this resistance will hold and we just come down here first before going up. Like if Bitcoin dumps to 42K, then I wouldn't be too surprised if something like that happened. But for now, just keeping a close eye on things. I do hold spot FTT that I'm not really selling right now because I think there's so much upside potential once this level is flipped. The CZ seller. There we go. Those are the main alts that I'm watching right now. I try to not be watching like 10, 15 coins because when I spread my attention so thin amongst so many, then it tends to be a little more difficult. But right now, I would say my main focus is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Avax, Sol, and FTT. I would love it if this gave us an entry, but we'll see what happens. Dot, yeah, I can look at Dot. The Dot bottoming formation was pretty nice. Taking out these lows, flipping it, and then it's kind of just been going straight up since then. I would say Dot is above the most important SR region on the entire chart. I'd probably draw it something like, well, that's a little big. Probably draw it something like this. You can see this was the floor this entire time. broke down, held his resistance here, 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 held his resistance once again here and here, got a little higher, broke down below. This move was probably the fake out, and I suspect this is our real breakout. But once again, like, the only thing I'm a little worried about is Bitcoin kind of looks like trash. So if Bitcoin breaks down to 42K, this is just going to be another fake out too, and this could come down more. With that being said, though, I have nothing against dot longs as long as it stays above this 27-ish range. Like, I think a pullback to here could be a great long opportunity with a stop loss around 24, and I would say you kind of target like the origin of this breakdown somewhere around there. So that's kind of what I would be looking for with DOT. I think I like the project from a fundamental perspective. It is breaking and looking to close above this very, very key SR level. But with Bitcoin looking like it's kind of on edge here, it's hard to enter something with like really high conviction until Bitcoin like sorts itself out a little bit. If Bitcoin does one of these, it's going to be so much fun because we can just long the crap out of everything. Out of a lot of different coins. So I guess you could say that's kind of what I'm looking for overall in this market. You want to talk about some NFTs? Mark, coins I'm trading on Avax. I mean, I think there are some bigger, like, blue chip, I guess you could say, ones if you just want some more Avax, like, exposure to the Avax ecosystem, like Benqi or BENQI. I don't know how they pronounce that. And then like Trader Joe is basically the Avax version of Uniswap, and I think Joe is pretty bullish. Like, as long as the Avax ecosystem grows, then a lot of those projects are just going to blow up. A really, really tiny one that I like right now, if you want to throw a dart, is Apex. I've been talking about it on Twitter a little bit. It's a super small market cap, but I have some solid reasons to be bullish on it. I mean, there's not many coins this small that you can be like confident that they won't rug, but I am very confident they won't rug. So that's kind of an interesting play. I bought quite a bit of that. And then if you want to talk about NFTs, I don't know. What NFTs do you guys want to talk about? I think the mutant apes are pretty cool. I'm currently watching the floor on these. Probably scoop one up around 8 ETH or so. This one's for sale at 8.5. The M2, I have all these M2 filters on it. Those are basically just the more rare ones. There's like, if I sort by, what am I sorting by right now? So there's all these different filters, and I'm looking at a lot of the M2 ones right here. Actually, no, I have it sorted by backgrounds, but still, I think the M2 ones are a bit more rare, and so I'm kind of looking to buy one of those, but we'll see. I think they're pretty cool. The Bored Ape Yacht Club community is a very strong one, so it's something that I would be okay with betting on. Does SXP look similar to Avax? Apex, that's right, Matthew. FTM had more of a incentivized plan, but like the product is kind of crap to me. Like it just seems way harder to use and way less intuitive, and I just think a lot of things on Avax work better. So SXP doesn't look too similar to me, but I don't know, this kind of feels like Bitcoin, where it's just in this eternal downward chop. I mean, you probably could chuck a trend line on there or something and just long it whenever it actually breaks out above it, maybe like this. Sometimes I do two of them, have a little more confluence. So maybe if it breaks above these, then it would be a good long, but right now it just kind of looks like it's getting crushed. Maybe it comes down into this first and then goes up. Is Aurori on Solana art or however they say it? Oh yeah, it is. Dude, I'm just sketched out with this one. Aurori, like a lot of sketchy stuff went down. Let's see. Oh yeah, the floor is 45. Like, I am 95% sure that they literally, like, you don't unintentionally have the mint price at 1 instead of 5. There's no way that was an accident. And then apparently, like, it opened up a minute early for certain people. And also, I'm pretty sure they just had a bunch of bots buy up the floor or buy them at 1 sol. And then they, like, can't look like the bad guy because they're like, oh my gosh, like, we listed this at the wrong price and lost out on all this money, so no one suspects they did anything foul, like that there was any foul play or anything. But I'm pretty sure they bought like all their supply at 1 sol with bots because it sold out in 3 seconds, and now they're just selling them for a bunch and making their money from that instead of the actual minting. That's kind of my theory with this. But I mean, if you got one, then that was a major score. Like 45 sol is what, 4.5K or something like that. I'm just a little sketched out with how it all went down, you know. All right, keeping an eye on this to see if it can flip this resistance. Can I check sand? Where do you trade sand? Oh, they have it on FTX. This Binance probably has more price history though. I would say as long as sand can hold above this region, like this all-time high support or whatever, then it looks pretty good. Like it's hard to be bullish on something that's, or sorry, it's hard to be bearish on something that's just in price discovery mode like this. Like, what am I gonna say? Oh, this looks like trash. Like, sure, this was a tough rejection, but it's printing all-time highs, so it's hard to be mad at that. If it comes down to here, like the origin of this pump and also this previous all-time high support, then I think that'd be a nice long opportunity. And then as far as targets, I have no idea. Like, these can just start running and keep running. So yeah, the guy who tweeted 11 mints was like some founder for Serum, and it's like, how did you just manually buy 11 of these in 3 seconds? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Could you look at my question? I don't want to spam. I feel like we kind of talked about it. I know FTM like had a bigger incentivized plan, but I think their product is just worse. Like, it just doesn't work as well from my experience. And it's a lot harder to use. It's way easier to bridge onto Avax, and I think the adoption curve will be a lot easier for Avax. The bot, I assume you're talking about Zort, is doing pretty well. It's still in the green, and it only trades Ethereum and Bitcoin with spot. We can dive deeper into that like next episode or something. But it is doing good. The Zort token, here's some alpha for you guys. Hide this. A lot of my buys were up here, so I'm a little underwater on Zort, but basically this, like, if Zort can get back above here, then I think it'll stabilize back in the 0.065 range. And when I hold this, I get a discount on the fees. So I bought some up here, underwater on that, and I bought some more down here. So we'll see what happens with that. But basically, want to see it get back above that level. I really want to take this trade, so it'd be cool if it works out. Jared Phillips, please chart Apex. Oops. Let's look at Apex. To me, this chart says all the people who are looking for a quick buck got scared and panic sold, and now it's just going to be easier to ride this thing back up. Can I shill my NFT bags? I don't really have a ton, but if Apex gets back above here, it is going to fly, and then when it does, just know I plugged you guys with a 300% move. Zort doesn't trade futures, it's just spot. But that's kind of what makes it more impressive. Like, that it can get returns like that just trading spot and go through way less drawdowns than some algo aping on leverage. Jameson says what Jared said. Yeah, the people love Apex. Apex is gonna, as long as the Avax ecosystem grows, Apex is gonna fly. The only NFTs, well, I'm probably going to buy some mutant apes, some of these guys. So I'm not going to shill them yet because, actually, if you're watching this, don't buy any of these because I want to get one for cheaper. And then I have a different ape project called Ape Only. This one, which kind of hasn't had much hype recently. And they're really cheap, but they're kind of cool. And if you burn one, you get a physical print, and that's where this came from. Like this little profile picture. The ape part is one of these ape only. Let me see if I can find it quickly. I don't really know how to find it quickly. Accessories. It's got 3D glasses, right? Let me see if I can search. Oh, I still have all these on. Glasses. Not by now. Okay. I don't know. I'm an idiot. But those are pretty cool. Who decides on listing a coin as a future? Is it just up to KuCoin or Atom and KuCoin agree? Oh, like for Zort to have a futures contract instead of just the spot? That's a good question. I'm actually not sure. But next time I have a conversation with Adam, I will bring it up, because I would like to know that too. We already looked at SXP. I can briefly look at Ray. I'm just trying to keep an eye on this in case it starts moving again. What am I looking at? Ray. Ray. That's a really old monthly open, I think. Great resistance though. For now, I probably wouldn't buy Ray. I think you kind of missed the boat for the time being. It doesn't mean forever. But right now, I would say you kind of missed the boat. Unless it either flips this resistance, then it's just in price discovery mode, and we can try and just compound as many longs as we want. Or if it retests this region. Those would kind of be my two plans with Ray. Apex, Mutant Apes, Ape only. Nice theme. Right? We do like the apes. This is crypto you're talking about. We're all apes. Ape only. Maybe they'll make a comeback one day. I'm still holding mine. I mean, who am I kidding? I can't really sell a lot of them if I wanted to, because there aren't many people buying them. But the one thing I do think is cool about that project is that if you burn one of them, it lowers the supply, so it makes them like more rare for everyone else. So there was 999. Now there's 971, so 28 of them got burnt. So they make them a little more rare, and then you get like a metal, like a physical metal print, which is kind of cool. Any plans to keep some NFTs as a long-term art piece? I think I would keep my mutant for a while. How many times do I have to go back? Yeah. I would probably keep the mutant for a while, just because I think Bored Ape Yacht Club has such a strong community. Oh, this one's kind of cool. So, like, even if NFTs as a whole pull back, I think Bored Apes, Punks, Art Block stuff, things like that will all hold their value pretty well. You like the lo-fi in the background? It'd be cool if this could bounce a bit before the daily close. Kind of make this candle, if we could close it around like 40 something, 40.3, 40.6. Make it more of like an indecision candle than a bearish looking one. We'll see what happens though. I like the idea of holding spot Avax and just buying more if it dips a little further. It might be tricky to catch it with leverage right this second, but if you do, I think it could be incredibly rewarding. So we will see. But we do like the apes. Apex basically has, yeah, what Matthew said. It basically has the Safe Moon tokenomics. Like, it's designed to go up. Every transaction, like every buy, sell, or transfer, some of the supply, 4% gets distributed to people who hold it. So you just like compound your holdings, and 5% of it gets moved into liquidity. So basically, it gets scarcer and they give you more of them. People on crypto Twitter just don't know much about it yet, but that's okay. The longer it stays down here, the more I buy. We don't want it going up too fast. Then we can't buy as much as we want. Luna pulled back a little bit today. can't believe I didn't long this and hold it till now. Look at this, guys. This was in during one of the streams, but I just lost track of it. We were looking for the flip and retest of $10. We got it perfectly. And now it's just flying. Pain. It's part of trading, though. There's some NFT drop this week called Lobby Lobsters that I think is kind of cool. I don't know if they'll amount to anything. I don't really know much about it, but I know they're like donating all of the profit, so I guess that could be a good indication. Also, Ethereum doing well. When we started the stream, it was at like 3.4K, so it's pushing up a little bit here. And like I said, as long as it holds above this region, it looks really bullish to me. And we're about to close through it, so you're a little late, but better late than never. And you can always watch the recordings of what you've missed. We're looking for a long on Avax. We'll see if we get it. I was 19 years old when I started trading. A friend of mine told me about crypto, and I was like, this sounds pretty cool. And then I lost a lot of money when it dropped, and I was like, I'm not going to let that happen again. And then I was like, I'm going to learn how to trade to make money when the market moves instead of lose it. And the rest is history. That's pretty much the story. This is quite the high time frame range. Mid-range is playing nicely though. Kind of looks good like this. Actually, that doesn't make any sense. If Avax flips the mid-range though, sorry, Ave, I think this is a free 35% spot hold. Like I'll be buying spot if it flips this and just hold it to like 580, whatever. Where are you buying Apex? On Trader Joe, which is like the Uniswap of Avax. And then Apex, you can just like see it in the drawdown or the drop down menu. But yeah, Ave doesn't look too bad. I think it would have been a nice long, like this was a really nice triple tap right there. So where we make a low, we sweep the low, retest it. That was the long opportunity. I wouldn't long it right here, but I'd be targeting this mid-range, and if it flips that, I think there could be more long opportunities. How old am I? I'm 24. I just turned 24. You know how like right after you have a birthday, you forget that you had your birthday? And I got COVID for my birthday this year, so that was cool. Not really cool, but you know. Since my dad's a doctor, did he disapprove of you trading at first? No, they were a fan of it. Honestly, my parents kind of knew I was just always a hustler. Like I was always trying to start businesses when I was in middle school and high school, and then I was just like, I would buy stuff online and try and flip it, like buy used stuff, try and sell it for more when I was in college. Like that's how I made money when I was a freshman in college. And so I think they always kind of knew I was going to go down like a different path, doing something different. And yeah, they're proud. They're happy. I come from a very medical family though. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse, my brother's in med school. So I'm the one outlier. What platform do you trade Avax on? And why do I use the perp charts? I use the perp charts because a lot of the altcoins I trade are on FTX. So the perp is the FTX one. I use the Bybit chart for Bitcoin and Ethereum because that's where I trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. And Bybit's actually been adding more alts recently, so I need to update my watch list. I prefer the trading experience on Bybit for the bigger coins. I think the liquidity is really good there and stuff, but some altcoins they just don't have, so I still trade those on FTX. That's why I use the perp charts. What platform do I trade Avax on? Do you mean like buy the Avax coins? I use Trader Joe. But you buy Avax, you send it to your MetaMask, and then you can bridge your Avax. Or, I mean, you can buy Ethereum and send it to your MetaMask and then swap it. A lot of people on Twitter have written like good little threads on how to do it. I think SatsDart had one. SatsDart bridge. Let's see. That's not right. Here we go. This was a good little thread on how to bridge. So you add Avax to your the Avax network to your MetaMask. You bridge Ethereum from your ERC wallet to your Avax one, and then Trader Joe, Pangolin, those are the two I've used to like swap stuff. And then yeah, you can use CoinGecko to see how you're doing and things like that. So, but here, let me send the link for this in the chat so that you guys can just click on it. Hold on, I need to actually like pull up YouTube because, oh my gosh, I don't know how to use a computer. Give me a second. Is it under dashboard? Oh no, control room. That's where I want to be on YouTube. The control room. Here we go. There it is. All right. I just sent it. Any other questions I missed? Oh, would I long Luna at this level? I don't think so. No. But yeah, I don't know. Luna's tricky here. I mean, it's just gone on such an insane run that I feel like I would just be also in comparison to its all-time high. I mean, Luna's just been ripping. I think the easier way to play this, like, I don't know if it's going to pull back to here and go up. I don't know if it's going to go to here and go up. I don't know if it's going to go to here and go up. With things like this, I would probably just rather wait for it to flip a resistance level and then just long it when there's nothing but hot air above, when it's just in price discovery mode. So if we sweep this low and then break above here, I think you could long it. I just have no reason to believe like, all right, this was the dip, we're going up from here. I would rather just see us go up from here, have the coin prove it to me, and then long. Let's go Ethereum. We like Ethereum. Do you guys like Ethereum? You better. Can you send Avax from an exchange directly into your MetaMask? Yes. If you have, I mean, I don't want to like dox my wallet right now. You guys don't need like addresses and stuff. But basically, when you click on your little MetaMask logo and it has the drop down on the top when you pick like which chain, instead of being on the Ethereum mainnet or like the BNB one, whatever, you need to add the Avalanche mainnet. And then once you have that added, you can send Avax directly to that wallet. Has Dot broken out of the triangle pattern? Oh my gosh, Dot is moving again. We were just... What the heck? This is the 1 minute chart. Since we started the stream, it's just going straight up. I don't really know what triangle pattern you're talking about though, but this is about to be an absurdly bullish daily candle. So, I mean, same plan kind of stands though. Any pullback to that general region is a definite long. Do I play games? I used to more. I feel like I don't have as much time for it now as I did. Games for me now is trading and looking at JPEGs. Let's see if the floor changed. The M2 floor is still 8.5. Let's see what the M1 floor is. No, that's not right. 5.5. We want a cool M2. That's the plan. I'll look at Link. Link is still a long way from all-time high. So that's like kind of good in terms of opportunity cost. Michael Saylor disapproves. It's just ranging here though. Like if I had to... Link is a little tricky right here. I don't have a super clear read on Link. I don't know why, but to me this price action looks kind of ugly. This level's kind of nice though. And it just held it. Okay. That adds a little bit of clarity. Do we have any important opens? No, not really. This is a nice high time frame level though. We could throw a meme trend line on here. Should we do it on the candle closes? That's pretty nice. All right, there you go. We took out this low here and also had a little triple tap. So let's see if this consolidates, breaks out of here. You can look for a long with the stop loss right there. I know it's a little wide, but whatever. An 11% stop loss isn't that big of a deal if it's going to run like 50%. Probably long it like into this level. You could do something like that. I mean, because right now it just looks like it's coiling up before the next leg. So we will see. You long Dot, so you're the reason it's pumping right now. Well, how about do the same thing to Avax so I can get my entry? And do the same thing to Ethereum so I can make some more money and buy some more NFTs. Does that sound like a plan? Alright guys, I think that's pretty much all I got for you today. I'll either stream again on Thursday or record a video. We'll kind of see what we're feeling or how much we have to talk about. If we have more to talk about, we'll probably stream. If there's not much to talk about, I'll just record a quick update video. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Ever since I got sick with COVID and didn't stream for a while, we've gone from having like 180 or 200 viewers every stream to having like 100. So everyone who's here still tuning in, even though I was sick and took a break for a while, I appreciate you. Target for Ethereum, I don't know, like 3.7K. That looks like a good first target. above that 4K and above that all-time high. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on Apex too if you want me to.